Hey, what's going on everybody? So today is good old push hypertrophy day, so I'm just doing a lot more volume, but I really wanted to focus on this particular lift at the top of my exercise protocol. So I'm doing the hammer strength incline press. Just a shout out to Colin Wolf for doing a YouTube video on how to maximize this lift and put a lot more emphasis on the upper chest. So I'm positioning my feet in front of me rather than on the side. I lowered the actual seat, and then I'm positioning my butt a little bit more towards the midsection of that seat rather than sitting back, and then also rotating my scaps back, so I'm actually putting a lot more emphasis on the upper chest when I'm doing the movement, the full range of motion, and I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the delt or the rotator cuff. So I was able to do pretty good weight, and this allows you to even do a rest pause movement if you need to do that movement securely. So then I actually did the decline press. This is the only time during the week that I do decline, so I'm actually able to do pretty good amount of weight. So one tip to actually do this lift efficiently and effectively is make sure that when you're lowering the bar, it's actually just going right below the nipple line. If you go a little bit above the nipple line, more towards the upper part of that chest, or a little bit above that midsection, that mid-level, it's really going to put a lot more pressure on the rotator cuff, the delt. So even when you start increasing weight, you're going to feel a lot more in your delt, and your rotator cuff might actually give out, causing you to fail that lift. So you're actually able to feel a lot more as you go a little bit below the nipple line when you come down on that lift, and then squeeze at the top. So I actually felt it a lot more as I did that in this particular lift. Then I actually did some overhead presses, trying to go for reps, and then so I was able to go up to good old 35 pounds on each side, and just really try to crank out as many reps as I can securely without wrecking the range of motion and wrecking the proper technique to hit this particular lift. So I really just enjoy the overhead presses. I feel these are really going to help dominate and build up my delts, my shoulders, and just really try to get that fullness when I'm on stage. So I will say that my neck is feeling a little bit better, so I was able to actually execute a pretty good amount of reps when it came down to this particular lift. And then I actually move over to incline Smith machine. This is another way to isolate the chest and just really use the Smith machine when nobody else is using it. So just really helps out with good range of motion. You don't have to worry about dropping the weight on yourself, but it just gives you full range of motion, a nice squeeze at the top, and then a nice stretch at the bottom. So you're able to execute this movement slowly and securely for rep cadence. I actually move over to good old tricep extensions as well after this movement to superset, but I actually didn't have my wife to help videotape it, so I just really just filmed the incline press because I basically put a lot more emphasis on the chest movement since I do arms and shoulders on Saturdays, but just making sure that I'm actually hitting good proper form and good stretch on the bottom and then squeeze at the top. So then I just move over and position the bench down so that I can do some close grip, just put more emphasis on the fantastic triceps. So basically a good shout out or tip to do this is make sure that your palms are facing up towards the ceiling. This helps a little bit more, put more emphasis on the triceps, and making sure that you're hitting below the nipple line or mid-level or bottom of that nipple line, so that you can put that emphasis on the actual tricep rather than the delt. And then I did some front raises with the 25. I went up to 35 on the next set, but it just really, it's still my neck after tweaking that just didn't feel right. So and then this is my last particular lift that I went across with everything that I've done with shoulders and triceps. I really didn't film that in this video, but I was able to do some hammer strength, flat and just really try to do a drop set to really help with the squeeze. I didn't actually do flat bench press barbell today. I just wanted to put a lot more isolation on the chest with these particular movements with hammer strength. I love those machines just to help out with isolation and full range of motion, full stretch. And so if there's any questions, if there's anything that you folks have comments about, please leave them below and I'll definitely reply to them. And I'm totally willing to try out different techniques as well to help maximize these lifts and even try to help build up my chest in a different way or hit it at a different angle. Thanks and have a good one. Bye-bye.